today's session is Decode Masters in Engineering Management and Masters in Information System. Before we start this session, I would quickly like to introduce myself, as I'm going to be the host for today's session and the speaker for today's session. So I'm the founder of Education Street. I'm an IT engineer myself. Post that, I worked as a software engineer with Tech Mahindra. Then I took up my GMAT, and after work experience, I went for my MBA. I went to UK. I did my MBA with the University of Leeds. After that, I also did diploma in counseling. That's exactly how I rolled out to become a counselor. But far-fetched, at that moment, I was not aware that I'm going to become a counselor. Post my MBA in University of Leeds, I got recruited by British Petroleum, and I was working with British Petroleum for a year and a half. After which, I always aspired to do something in education, and that's how I left my job. I returned back, and in 2010, I started Education Street. And I love saying it's been a decade where I've been mentoring, guiding, and helping students to go abroad. So it's been a very, very enriching and a fruitful 10 years, because it has taught me a lot of things. And this journey has been stronger and stronger with the number of students, the kind of cases, the kind of countries, the kind of, good universities, even all what we have touched in this year. So we help students for undergraduates, we help students for masters, we help students for PhDs, and that has been a journey so far. Personally, I am married to a very, a hustling husband. He has his own business, and I am a mother to a 3-year-old daughter now, and not a 2-year, but a 3-year-old daughter who keeps me on my toes always. And I'm completely fixated to reading. You'll always find me in my free time with a book, which is very less nowadays because there's no free time. But yes, books. I love traveling, which again has got compromised. But yeah, so far I've traveled to 28 plus countries. So a lot of your universities or countries I've personally visited. So that's how I am going to be the speaker for today, and I hope I do my best to give you the best information that I can. So the agenda for today is very crisp and clear. We want to discuss what MEM and MIS is, what is the application material to go to US, how do we go about selecting the universities when there are so many universities in US, the credit system in US, very important, US education cost and return on investment. I'm going to give you a maths which will help you and your parents to understand how and what is to be done before going to US, and the job trends. Okay, so I hope all of you can give me at least a thumbs up or a yes in the chat function to let me understand that you all are alive and with me. So can I just have quickly some yeses in the chat function so that I know that my audience is alive and with me on the same page? Thank you, Brinal. Thank you, Shrishti. All right, so few yeses here. Great. All right. Okay. Thank you, Divyansh. Thank you so much. Okay. So now, firstly, let us talk about why would you consider to go to US at this point of time. Thank you, Chinmay, Karthik. So at this point of time, guys, I understand that most of you took the poll and you all said that you all are looking for 2022. The first step is why USA. The second step is what do I study in US? And the third step is that which university shall I go in? A lot of times students just go without any research, and they happen to just follow the herd mentality. That's by looking at someone else's solutions. And that's something which is very wrong, because 43% of the students, let me tell you, not only going to US, but across the globe, when they go abroad, they choose wrong majors or they choose wrong specialization. And in that way, somehow they're not happy. Somehow they don't perform well, and that's exactly what the major issue happens. And we at Education Street have identified that, and hence, as a mentor and just not a recruiter of a university, we guide and help you and try to support you to go for the right masters. And this entire Decode Masters attempt that we have 10 sessions, 10 webinars coming in, of which we finished computer science, we finished electrical engineering, and today is the third session, MIS and MEM. The next session is on business analytics. So likewise, we are taking our efforts to make you understand what these courses include. First question is, why US? So typically US focuses a lot on quality and not quantity. So there are fewer courses in the masters, let's say like around 12 to 14, but that's exactly how advanced and deeper you go into those concepts. So you become more skillful rather than, being behind the number games and just acquiring a degree. The second is the US universities have a lot of top tech companies which invest in their labs, which invest in their curriculums, which makes the program very, very industry updated. That means you are very well planned when you are employed, that you know what you have to do in the jobs. So a lot of top tech companies like Google, Facebook, Oracle, SAP, all of them actually put a lot of efforts to put your curriculum a very practical one. We have heard this enough times from our seniors that US education is very practical, but what does it mean? It means your program is industry focused. So that's the beauty of US education. Opportunities to gain experience and pocket money, salary and career success. We all know US is land of opportunity, is a magnet, it's highly rewarding, and hence we all consider to go to US. So yes, definitely US is quite rewarding when it comes to return of your investment. And the fourth thing and the last thing I would say is US allows you the freedom. Now this freedom is very restricted here in India, but in US, typically if you have to study say 12 or 14 subjects, out of which only 2 or 3 subjects are core, that means they are mandatory. Rest all subjects are electives. Now how beautiful it sounds. That's exactly what it brings to you. You are given the freedom to tailor the course as per as what you want, and that's what I'm going to talk about MEM and MIS. What are the core subjects and what are the electives? Now choosing your major. So when I said 43% of the student may go for a wrong master or a specialization, please, you should not be among them. And that's my efforts here. I want you to ask yourself these questions. What are you good at? If you're good at computer science and coding, keep this as a strength and look for a program according to that. If you're not good at technical skills and I want to go into management but still be in technology, then what subjects can I go into? This is how you need to figure out. So the first question is what you're good at. Are you good to do this for next 5 years? I'm not talking about lifetime because no one does the same thing for lifetime. If you're good for the next 5 years doing this as your career aspiration, I think you're getting closer to what you should do. Do not follow what is trending. A lot of students say, I'm going for machine learning because it's the most trending thing. Guys, we don't want to become viral. We don't want to become trending. Yes, machine learning is a very important area, but do you like it is the question here. Okay. So the choice should be yours. The choice should not be of someone who's your neighbor or your cousin who's gone there into that area and done very well. That solution may not fit you. Find your own solution. And that's exactly how we guide at Education Street. Choose and research over it. Once you have now figured out all the students who are going for 2022, your application period is going to start from this September, October 21. That means you have another month or 2 to figure out all these things. What do I study? What US promises? What are the courses? What are the subjects? What are the universities? All these things is what you have to research. At Education Street, we help you to do the same, but we do it where we guide you and mentor you. Okay, so this is how religiously we take in, and hence we are doing this effort to show you that. All right. So there are 2 types of masters when you go to US. So for a basic understanding and a skeleton, there are 2 types. MS, Masters in Science, which is with thesis, and then there is Masters in Engineering or Masters in Professional, this thing, which is without thesis. So guys, there are 2 kind of masters. So if you're looking for, so if you have 4 semesters in your masters, your 4th semesters is typically where you do a research on a topic. Okay. So some of the universities have both the programs. They have MS in thesis and M engineering. There's a myth that if you go for M engineering, you won't have a job. Or if you go for a master's in professional, you would not have a job. That's not true. In M Engineering or Masters in a Professional, all your 4 semesters are taught programs. That means skills are imparted. There is no thesis, there is no research work. So if I'm someone who's looking out to go for a PhD, I definitely should opt for an MS in thesis. I'm someone who's not sure for thesis, he may go for MS or M Engineering. Now, why I'm bringing this point here is because a lot of students may have hold to a better university if they apply for masters in engineering, because in that cases it is lesser competitive. So in your profile, probably I'm applying to Columbia or applying for NYU, I may not get chances to get into an MS in computer science or MS in engineering management, whatever I'm applying for, but I may have an opportunity to get into masters in professional. But this choice would be yours only when you compare both the programs. And that's how we help you when we are counseling as well. Okay. So we give you all the list of courses, the universities, the application fee, the deadlines, the tuition fees, all of this to make the right decision. Okay. So these are the 2 kinds of masters. Now let me explain you what is there in the syllabus of MEM and MIS. So today I'm going to cover 2 programs, Masters in Engineering Management and Masters in Information System. Both the masters, may it be M Engineering or may it be Masters of Science, both of them have core subjects and electives. Understand the terminology, because whenever in future you go to that university website, you may see these are the core subjects. You have to take 2 to 3 core and rest is electives. Okay. So this is how you have to believe and construct your courses. So you tailor your own course. Now let me talk it out to you about what MEM is. So firstly, MEM is abbreviated as Masters in Engineering Management. It's a degree specifically designed for engineering graduates to build the connection between engineering, technology, and management. So all of you who are here from, say, computer science or electrical engineering, or say you're from a BSc, or you're from civil engineering, you're from structural engineering, you're from mechanical engineering, MEM is a program for all of you. Can you guys tell me from which discipline you are from? Is it computers, IT, mechanical? What is it? Whatever area you are from, you are typically allowed to go for MEM. That's the beauty of the program. So it's a very good program. So a lot of students come to me and say, I don't want to go for a technical program. I understand. This program is more related to technology management. So Samriddhi says computer, Devyansh mechanical, great Devyansh. Yeah. So computer, mechanical, EXTC, Karthik, Tushar mechanical, you all can opt for MEM. Okay, so that's how beautiful the program is. I am going to just Prajwal, even a BCA can go for an MEM program. Okay, so this course is mainly related to managing and optimizing the results of engineering processes using enterprise management tools. Okay, so this is how MEM works. I will give you real-time examples also. Let me build upon the concept. By the end, you will be clearer how and what works for you. Okay. So this is how the engineering management concept works. Okay. So in this case, engineering management concept is including of all of these things. Okay. All right. So it has strategic planning and management, innovation and entrepreneurship. It has risk management, quality management, project management, operations and supply chain, law, cybersecurity, sustainability, digital commerce. These are the beautiful concepts which are there. So it is basically a degree wherein there is technology, but there is MBA programs as well. So subjects as well. So this is how an engineering management course looks like. So a lot of people ask me, then what is the difference? I may go for an MBA also. No, guys, an MBA and an MEM is different, because MEM concentrates more on technology. So you would have CRM, you would have ERP, you may have analytical tools, you may take subjects into IT or computers, you may take subjects into mechanical engineering or construction management. So this is how the program is made or beautified. Okay. So an engineering management is a mixture of engineering, technology management plus management, whereas an MBA is only and only pure management program, where marketing, statistics, entrepreneurship, only these concepts are built upon, and finance. Okay, so this is how the MEM program works. So let's talk about the core subjects. Core subjects would have statistics and probability, managerial economics, operation management, technology management, as what I said, okay, accounting and financial management, project management, data analysis, again a technology concept, engineering system stimulation, so all mechanical subject students may look for this, design project management, international business management. So as you see, the concepts of businesses are there, but it is amalgamated with technology. I hope I'm making sense here. Okay, so this is how an MEM works for. Okay, now what are the electives? So I can specialize by taking electives. So an MEM program can go as a track into project management. It could go into a lot of areas. So let me help you with the concepts. So in MEM, if I am a computer grad, I may also be excited, or an electrical grad or a mechanical grad, and I might be excited to learn machine learning. Here you go. You have an application for this. Okay. So applied machine learning, data science is there, business intelligence is there, operations and supply chain management, technology development, computer stimulation, operational analytics, product management. So all of you who want to go into product management, it's like, you know, the IT product. So there is a lot of products which come in the market, right? So in that case, it has a cycle, how to develop, what to do, how to sell, how to market. That's exactly this program for. So you can go for this as well. Manufacturing management, if you are from mechanical area, you can look for manufacturing technologies, system engineering, environmental and systems, economics and public policy, leadership and organizational behavior, which is like an HR concept, strategic management, business accounting, finance, and etc. and etc. So guys, these are varied electives. As I said, a beautiful program amalgamated with technology and business programs. So all of you who want to go into technology area but not, you may go into the managerial and the business side of technology. And let me tell you, there are a lot of jobs in technology area, may it be business side of technology or technical side of technology. So all of you, please hold on to your area. Please don't go directly for something which is out of the box, because there are more and more jobs related to technology, maybe any country, US, Canada, wherever. Okay. Now I'm going to talk about what is MIS. So the course deals with the management of immense volumes of business and trade related information via technology. Through its analysis of the information, effective solutions for the errors in the businesses are expressed. So basically, MIS is related to data, databases, and handling of data, to make it very simple. Okay. So MIS is a concept which is very derived from computer science. So it has concept of computer science, which is database, data mining, data warehousing. However, it is also a concept related to data science. So it's amalgamated and a very, very beautiful program that you can go in for. Okay. Again, here, MIS could be definitely opted by computer students, IT students, EXTC students, mechanical and stuff also. We have done that as well in the past. However, we need to write in the essay why we are going in this area, and we need to give them a reason behind it. So these are the programs which are very, very nicely available for different kind of disciplines of students. Okay. So MIS. So MIS has all these areas. Okay. So technology wise, you may have to have concepts of Python, Java, and C#, then HTML, CSS, XML, and network and security. Okay, so these are the technology areas. So a lot of computer students and IT students are already well versed with it, but it doesn't have like coding per se, which you normally do in say a computer science program, and hence it's a very well balanced between database management and technology. Okay, now let's come to the business program. So again, this program is managed into database management. So marketing, management, project management, accounting, economics, finance, IT management. These are all the concepts which are from business side of the programs. And again, as it is about database management, databases, statistics, data visualization, machine learning, data analysis tools like SQL, SAS, Hadoop, Spark, R. So this is how all these concepts come together for a beautiful program like MIS, Masters in Information Systems. Okay, I'm going to talk about a real-time example later to build on how an MEM guy works later and how a MIS guys work later. But let me build stage by stage. Okay, am I getting clearer, guys? Are you able to understand the concept so far? Okay, so now the core subjects of the MIS. Okay, so the core subjects of MIS are related to networking, data mining, data warehousing, business communication, advanced system analysis and design, economic analysis, IT project management, principles of finance, business information security, IT architecture, and cloud computing. Okay, so these may be the core concepts which is there in the syllabus of MIS. Every university has different MIS and MEM programs. So as a counselor, I have to introduce you to different programs, and as a student, you need to check the programs which appeals you the best. No two universities typically run it same way. So it's very important for me to understand what you're looking out for and then shortlist the universities. Okay, so this is how MIS works for. Okay, now coming to the electives. Now, how can you specialize with MIS? You can specialize into cloud computing, you can specialize in business intelligence, data analytics, security and network management, web systems, business process design, information strategy and governance, healthcare informatics, a very newer area, but that's exactly where the world wants these people, because we have seen how COVID made the entire healthcare system crash. But now with data, now with information, we want to come with better results, better treatment, and hence healthcare informatics is a huge thing. So you may think on going in that as well, and user experience design. So this is how the electives of MIS works. I hope you realize what MEM has and what MIS has. Both are very different from each other, and both of them are very different from, say, an MBA program, which normally students think it is a blend of business and stuff. No, it's not true. It's blend of technology and management. Okay, so this is how the electives of MIS works. Now, when we're looking forward to apply for US, let me bring down what do you require if you want to apply for an MEM or an MIS. First of all, if most of the students are looking for 2020, January 22, yes, there are a lot of universities which are still giving waivers for GRE, but that's not going to be very true for September 22. So please start with your GRE preparations. If you're planning for September 22, your deadlines are going to be from this October to December 21. So you still have time. So please start with your GRE. We do have very good coaching at GRE, and we are running really great offers. So if you're looking forward for it, be in touch with us. Okay. TOEFL and IELTS is the next exam. Either of the exam is what you need to appear for. Okay. Then we require transcripts from your college, your engineering. If you have done diploma, then diploma plus engineering. Then we need to write a statement of purpose, an SOP, what you have done, what you like, why you want to go for an MIS, why you want to do this, what are your goals after your MIS degree, X, Y, Z. So we have good editors which help you out. We do not ghostwrite because we want heart and soul of the student. Any counselor telling you I'll write it completely, yes, why not? Because he's going to cut, copy, paste from somewhere. That's not what we do. We purely take the rough content from you because we want your heart and soul, and then my editors work upon it. So whatever is right, we help you in that way. Then 3 letter of recommendations is what is required. A resume, which may or may not be required, but a normal resume still should be okay. Your extracurriculars and financial documents. So this is a huge set of documents. It takes time, at least a month and a half. So please start your preparation as soon as possible. So big call out to all the students who are looking for September 22 intake. Start your process now. Okay. So it's very, very important. Now let's start about what it requires. So US universities typically require four things, but two of them are the most important. There are almost 4,000 plus universities in US. That means there's a huge opportunity for you to crack a good one. Even if you crack something among 100 or 150 universities in US, there's still very to go universities to go in, because US has huge opportunities and they have highest employability. They are the highest payers, and hence US is a place to go absolutely for everybody of you who's thinking to go to US. So the US universities, you can categorize them in safe, moderate, and ambitious. But how would you do that? If you go on normal forums, you're going to get information which is unauthenticated. That means you're going to take decision based on someone else's decision, wherein you don't have the complete picture altogether. And these days, these are the mistakes which students are doing, because someone has already started a tribe or a rebel saying counselors are there to cheat you or counselors are there to fake around. I say look for a right counselor. If you have your right counselor who's taking money from you and not a free counselor, he has no hidden motive. We are paid counselors. We don't do anything for free because we know we cannot do it for free if we have to be honest. My complete rule at Education Street is to be a clean counselor. And for that ethics to keep in, we are paid counselors and we take counseling fee for guiding you and supporting you. So we do the research behind and you can trust us on that. So a right counselor can be very defining to you, because then you can select your right safe universities, moderate and ambitious. That's how we categorize our universities. Universities look for four things. One is your aggregate. So what is your aggregate? How much grades you have in all semesters. Very important. Second, your GRE and TOEFL score. Okay, this is again very important. The third is your extracurriculars, and the fourth is your projects and internships. But there is no replacement to GRE and aggregate. Yes, there are a lot of universities which have given GRE waivers, and we had a lot of students who've been this year also without GRE. But this opportunity may not last longer. It may last till January 22, but September 22, probably most of the universities will come back with their GRE requirement. So please start with your GRE and don't try to shoo away the hard work, because hard work will only get you a better university. So decide what you want to do. Okay, now how many universities do you apply for? You can apply 5 to 9 universities. That should be good enough. Categorize them in safe, moderate and ambitious. The simple maths which I want to help you out is that how expensive it is to apply to US. So typically every university has an application fee of $50 to $100. Assuming $75 is an average cost and you apply for 7 universities, $525 become your expenditure to apply for 7 universities. That means around 37,000 rupees. Now what happens is that most of you would go forward to a lot of people who are giving you application fee waivers. Okay. Now guys, you run behind something which is free. But are you figuring out whether that university is good? Are you figuring out whether that university is what you really want to apply for? Are you really realizing that is that the course you want to specialize in? These are the questions that you need to ask yourself. There's a lot of free things which attract us, but we've all learned from childhood that there are no free lunches. Then why are you believing it right now? Why are you believing counselors and calling them counselors for doing things free? They are not counselors, they are recruiters. They are recruiters of some universities which they have tied up with, and they want to promote and sell you to those universities directly, and hence they are not taking any fees from you. Think before you choose your helping hand. This is where the crux lies. This is where the issue lies. That you go for a wrong thing, you go for a free thing, and that's exactly where you do not save the most important decision of which university and where you want to study and where you want to take your career further. Okay, so now coming to US concept of education. So they have classes. However, the daily classes, generally student take 3 courses every semester, and each course has 1.5 hours lecture weekly. So that makes 4.5 to 5 hours classes per week. So this will help you to understand how US education system works. So every subject that you take, you typically may have 5 or 6 hours of those classes. Now, by reading before point, if you think that you are free for a week to enjoy, that you're absolutely wrong then. Loads of assignments are assigned to students which needs to be completed within the deadline, as this assignment counts for your GPA. And every assignment goes through a software called like Turnitin, and hence we cannot copy a single line. If you do that, you're very soon going to be suspended. So plagiarism is a real thing in US, and hence you have to do your assignments on your own. That means there is no spoon feeding in US. A lot of readings, a lot of assignments, case studies is what you have to do on your own, and hence you have to invest a lot of time in self study and library. This is how the concept of US education works. Now, this is a beautiful concept which students fall in love with, because we've never realized that this freedom to read and answer as we want is something which makes us understand the concept in the most detailed way. Now, that's why students enjoy studying in US, and Indians typically perform the best. Okay, so this is how it is. Now, moving further with the concept of credit systems in US, you may not be aware of this, and hence please be attentive when I'm explaining this, because whenever you're choosing your university, you may see these as the concept and the terms on the websites of the university. Again, I announce, at any point, do take a snapshot of this webinar, tag us at Education Street on Instagram, and there's a surprise waiting for you. So please do that. Meanwhile, so coming back to the credit systems in US. So typically, let's understand, I'm going for an MEM or an MIS. So typically you have a concept of masters where you get a master's degree. A master's degree is conferred to you if you get credits of around say 30 to 40. For this example, we take it 30. Depending on university to university, the credits differ. But typically it is something ranging between 30 to 40. So in India, when I do a master's or a bachelor's, I have to go for a bachelor's. I do X semesters, I do X subjects, I have to clear it, I get a percentage. This in US doesn't happen. There are two ways that we have to do. So typically each master's will have around 12 to 15 subjects. Okay. Each subject, one subject, has corresponding credits. They range from 2 to 4. Let's take an example of 3. So one subject is equal to 3 credits. So to get a master's, which will be entitled to me only if I get 30 credits, that means I need to study compulsory 10 subjects. I hope I'm clear here. Okay. Give me a yes that you are with me. Credits. Are you understanding? Credits. You may write credits. I understand credit system. Okay, so the GPA is outcome of your performance. Okay, so now one thing is that you have to clear your 10 subjects. Another is how well you perform in these subjects. Okay, so now in these 10 subjects, I perform in a way wherein I absolutely. Okay, so Divyansh has asked me to repeat. I will do that, Divyansh. Okay, so a master's degree in US is related to a credit points. So every master's has a credit point, say 30 for this example. So 30 credits is what I have to get an MS in engineering management. Okay. So now for the 30 credit, each subject is typically assigned with 3 credits. That means I have to do 10 subjects to get the 30 credits. These 10 subjects can be distributed in my 4 semesters. I can do 2 in each or 3 in each. This is my decision. I can finish my master's in 1.5 years also by taking, 4-3-3 subjects and finish the MEM degree in 1.5 years as well. Okay. So this is how the credit system works. Now I get a degree. The moment I clear the 10 subjects, I am granted credits. But what happens with my GPA? GPA is grade point average. This is depending on my performance. So in my subject, if I do even like passing marks, I'm still getting a degree of master's. But my GPA depends on the performance that I do in each subject. So suppose if I get 3.5 plus in all my subjects, then my grade point average is going to be about 3.5. So this is related to performance. So one is I have to clear all the 10 subjects, and other is I have to perform very well in my 10 subjects, which relates to my GPA. I hope I have made this easiest, and I hope that you have understood this. Okay. So typically for a master's, you study for around 12 to 15 subjects. That's how credit systems in US works. Okay. If you've still not understood, no problem. We will take it up later, but this is how I explained it twice. I hope it is clear now. Okay. Now let's come to the concept of what is the cost of education to study in US. So typically your master's is going to be for 2 years. So the range would be 12 to 18 lakh rupees a year into 2. The fees vary depending on the ranking of the university. That means higher the university, higher the fees. Private or public. In US, there are state and private universities. So Ohio State University, California State University, Oregon State Universities. All these have 20% lesser fees as compared to private. Like Stevens, NGIT, USC. All of these may have higher fees. So saying this, if I am someone who wants to be cost sensitive, please be honest at the start. Please understand these things. There's nothing wrong in going and understanding what you have in your kitty. So according to that, I suggest universities which can fit your bill. Okay. It's very important to fit your bill. Stretching will make painful decisions to your parents and you. We don't want anyone in this entire chain to be in pain. Your parents in pain, that means you are in pain. So please understand what is realistic as a possibility for you. Okay. So private or public location. So say Boston, California, New York, they're going to be very expensive. So why not go to say Ohio? Why not go to North Carolina? Why not go to Oregon? These are states which have lesser living costs. So I save my money. And that's how the beauty is about US, that whichever state you are, it doesn't depend on that. Every state has very good universities. Just New York, California, please don't go behind just the names and the cities. Yes, Silicon Valley is in California, but who told you that the university, the companies in California only hire people from California? It's not true. Ask anybody out there. That's not true. So go where it is possible and which fits your bill, and then your fees depends on credits. So what I just explained you, when you go to find the universities, their fees will not be given straightforward to you. It is per credit. They will write it's $1,200 or $1,300. Then you multiply into the number of credits your master's required. So if it is 30, you multiply 30 into 1,200 to decide on the entire MS fees. This is how the fees is decided in US. Okay, so I am trying to help you out to understand about how to go about researching your universities, because this is exactly what none of the counselors will tell you, because they want you to be confused so that they can use your naiveness to their benefits. Okay, so this is how things work upon. Now the living expense range from 7 lakh to 9 lakhs. Okay, depending on the state. So the components of your expenses are your rent, your groceries, your utility bills, and your other ad hoc like your travel or your party, because we all want to do that as well, right? So this is the expenses. So per month is $700 to $1,000. So typically the range of expenses is going to be 45,000 to 60,000 rupees per month. So the key to reduce your cost here is to stay in shared accommodation. So that's the key to reduce your living cost, and also the location of the living, because if you go to a little states which are not like metro cities, you would typically save money on that as well. Okay, so this is how your living expenses come. Now we are going to do a simple maths about how to remove your living cost. Okay, so 20 hours a week you're allowed to work part-time. Guys, again I repeat, at any point I have a surprise waiting for you. Unblock your service, this thing by taking a snapshot of this webinar at Education Street, tag us at Instagram. There's something which is waiting for you. Please do that to unfold that. Okay, so 20 hours a week you're allowed. Range of per hour is around $10 to $14. Okay, so this is what you get paid. Now let me do a simple maths. $10 into 20 hours, $200 weekly. Monthly, it becomes $800. Yearly, it becomes $9,600. That means around 7 lakhs. First year, you're allowed to work only on campus. Second year, you're allowed to work anywhere. Okay. So typically, if you get an on-campus jobs in the first year, you would be in a very, very good position to remove all your living cost on your own. But if not, say first semester goes by, you get a job in second semester, no problem. At least half of your living cost is what you remove. So there is an opportunity for everyone who's looking forward to save money. Okay. It is all about how well you are acting there and how well and ready you are to do hard work. All this is hard work. Anybody who told you that studying abroad is like green, lush green grasses and sitting by the tree and partying and traveling, it's not true. It's something which you just see in movies. The reality is every student out there is away from their comfort zone and taking a risk, and that's why they're rewarded. Do you think someone out there has put in their only efforts in partying and freedom? No, they have actually slogged every day to make the best of their life later. Okay, so this is how the cost of living works. The return on investment, so typically if $50,000 is what you have spent in, the average salary would be around $70,000. So tax would be 33%, 23,100 is what I would deduct. So the income becomes 46,900. And now your expenses, say, because now you're a working professional, you have your own lifestyle, I'm upping your working expenses by 2,000 per month. So $24,000 per year is what you would be spending on yourself. Still your savings are going to be around 22,900. So if you ask me or your parents ask you, how are you going to return and in how much years are you going to return the money that you're investing to go to US, it's going to be 2.5 years, guys. Most of them do that. At the max, 3.5 years. So I hope you're ready with the questions once you know that what you want to do. And that's how we at Education Street support and guide you and your parents in the entire journey. Now let's come to the jobs which are available after NEM and MIS. So after NEM, you would typically work as a product manager. The salary ranges to around, say, $82,000. System architect, which could be around $97,000. Client services analyst, around $75,000. A design engineer, $80,000 per year. A plant manager, $100,000. A technical consultant, $85,000. So typically the salary would be $75,000 per year. If you have work experience, you would have higher. If you are not if you're without work experience, you still get 75,000 plus. Okay, so this is how the NEM job works. Now, what are the designations and roles after an MIS job? You could be working as a system engineer, as a software engineer, system manager, a consultant, a network security engineer, a project manager, a business analyst, a data engineer, or a database administrator. Again, $70,000, $75,000 plus is the kind of roles that you get in once you are doing an MIS. Okay, so this is how MIS jobs work. Now, as I mentioned, I want to give you a real-time example about what an NEM and MIS is. Okay, so let us take that NEM as I made you understand. It's a concept which is basically related to engineering concepts, could be from mechanical, civil, IT, and it is amalgamated with business school programs, marketing, finance, statistics, and all of these things, entrepreneurship. So an NEM grad and an MIS grads are very different. MIS is someone who's working with technology, data, and managing data. So these are two different things. Now let me give you an example. So suppose there's a company called as Facebook, right? We all know about Facebook, how it works. The person who makes the website of Facebook is a graduate who would be coming from Masters in Computer Science. Okay. A person who actually sits by. So every time, say, Ankita logs in, she watches animal videos, and that's exactly what Facebook is gathering this data, that what time I log in, what I watch, what I do, how long I am there. This is data for Facebook. Now, this data cannot be captured in databases like us, like Excel and stuff. So they have data structures. They have to do all the data structuring, secure the data, mine the data. All this is what an MIS graduate does. So basically, there's someone who is handling this data, storing this data, managing this data. This is called MIS. Okay, when it comes to jobs, so an MIS graduate may be working in all these areas. As I said, someone who's handling data. An MEM grad is typically working between the business and the engineering side. So saying this example, if I'm from Deloitte, okay, I may hire an MEM grad because he is going to be someone who understands, say, you're from mechanical engineering background. So you understand about manufacturing units, okay. So Deloitte, you're working as an MEM graduate where you have a client who's a manufacturing client. He wants to set a new plant and he requires to develop some software for it. So as an MEM graduate, now you have understanding about manufacturing, about technology, and you have to gather the details from the client and convert it into technology language for your engineers in Deloitte. So typically you're a bridge between the client and the engineers that you have in the company. So you collect the client details, you collect their details, you understand their details, their requirements, and then produce what they want by your engineers who are going to code or create or manage. And this is how an MEM graduate works. So I hope I'm able to make you understand what the difference between an MEM and an MIS is. So it's never versus. Both these programs are very different. So if you are looking for something in either of them, you are hitting the right belt. Okay. So this is how you can go closer to your requirement. Now let me bring you to a concept called as OPT. So optional practical training is a visa or a kind of thing that you all have to get when you go for a STEM program. Both OPT and both MEM and MIS are STEM programs in US. That means science, technology, engineering, and maths. So even if it is provided by business school, a lot of MEM programs are provided by business school. It's still a STEM program. So you need not worry about that. So when you apply for US visa, you apply for an F1 visa. It's a 5-year visa, of which 2 years is your education. But if it is STEM, you have 3-year OPT, of which once you finish your degree, you first apply for an OPT, you get only 12 months. In this 12 months, you have to look for a job for yourself. Once you've found a job for yourself, you can apply for H1B because your employer will help you. But in case if the employer does not do or your H1B lottery system doesn't come in, a STEM student, which you are in these degrees, you would get another 24 months OPT extension. And that's what the beauty is to go to US. After 2 years education, you have 3 years of stay back option, which is called as OPT, optional practical training. So please understand all these terminology which I'm talking about, because there's no one who's going to help you out in this detail what we at Education Street are trying to help you out with. Okay, so this is how OPT works. So coming closer to the end of our session, US is a land of opportunities. It has MS and CS, electrical engineering, it has business analytics, it has data science, artificial intelligence, it has engineering management, it has information systems. But you need to understand what you want to do. There are a lot of options. That means there's a lot of confusion. And here we are to support and guide you. I really, really want to tell you that at Education Street, we do a very, very thorough counseling. You can go at Education Street, Mumbai, and even Google us, and you will see our reviews. Don't trust us. Don't even trust our website, I would say. Trust on the Google reviews, because that I cannot change or delete or add. So please go on and check what reviews we have for you to believe that what we do. Okay, so our services is a very exhaustive. We have ES Prime package, which includes all of these steps, right from shortlisting of your universities, your courses selection, helping you to apply for 8 universities, SOP editing, LOR editing, transcripts, CV, helping you to fill up all the 7 to 8 university form, which my team helps you for, your financial counseling to your parents, loan assistance, getting your I-20, your visa form, visa file. We conduct 3 rounds of mock interviews, your pre-departure, your air ticket booking, your accommodation help. All of this is what we provide us in our counseling. We do not do it free. We are paid counselors. We cannot do it free until and unless we have someone else who's supporting. So in most cases, there are other counselors which will push you to universities which they are tied up with. There is no harm in going to tied up universities, but most of them are not great ones. But yes, there are some really good ones which even we are tied up with, but we don't push accordingly. We push you as per what your profile is. We help you to reach where you can reach rather than where our reach is. Understand this equation. And hence there's someone who may be charging you less, hence there's someone who's giving you free, because there are hidden motives. So apart from US, we do Australia, Canada, Germany, Ireland, Singapore, Malaysia, Netherlands, Europe. We do a lot of these countries. So if you're looking for multi-country or you're looking for some other country, we definitely can support you because we have expertise for most of the popular study destination. So if you're looking to go for counseling for any other country, we can definitely support you. And this is a message which I give to all my students. You may join us or not, but whenever you're going for education, please believe you're going for education for constructing and chiseling yourself and developing your character. Once you have the skills, once you have the character, once you have the aura, once you have the vibes, once you have everything of this, the confidence comes. And once the confidence comes, may it be COVID, may it be recession, may it be any situation which is there external, you as a personality is going to crack the best opportunity and you're going to manifest your dream to another level. And that's what I tell every student. Please have a vision. Please have a dream that you're going to an education, to any university, just not for the salary or the kind of role that you want. You're going because you want to absorb and become the best version of yourself. So I hope this session was useful for you, and I'm going to take up questions. So whatever questions you have, you may write them on the chat function. This is my email ID, ankita@educationstreet.in. These are our numbers. Our website is educationstreet.in. And a lot of information we keep coming on our Instagram and Facebook handles and YouTube. We have a lot of videos which we do on YouTube. So please, please, please follow us at Education Street in all these places.